Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Well, the holidays are officially here, so you know what that means. Time to prepare for family drama. Yes, so here with help, we welcome back licensed marriage and family therapist Megan Meganson. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Tis the season,
Tis the season for family drama.
Yes, and in-laws and things that you only have to really think about once a year, but cause a lot of stress.
Yes, tons of stress. So,
yes.
I mean, the truth is family dynamics are really complicated, right? I've never met someone who's like, oh yeah, I have a perfect family. We have no issues. Everybody gets along perfectly.
I have, but I think they're lying.
Right.
I think their mother-in-law's behind them or something.
Yeah,
you know?
right. So there are those families who are really good at pretending like everything is perfect, but there's like conflict and tension simmering right under the surface. Family dynamics are complicated inherently. That's okay. You know, we're not here to figure out how to not have a complicated family dynamic.
Right.
But what we want to do is make sure that we're protected and our relationship is protected from things that get really stressful around the holidays.
So what can we do? What can, generically, because I know everyone has different situations. It might be the mother-in-law one sort, it might be the brothers or the awkward situation that might have happened that will never be resolved.
That's right. Well, if you know that holidays tend to be challenging, I would encourage you to sit down with your partner and talk through a couple of main questions before you go into the holiday event with your family.
Okay.
So the first question I want you to think through together is, what could go wrong?
Right.
Might be a lot of things, might be very few things, but I really want you to troubleshoot.
Troubleshoot first.
Troubleshoot first.
So bring the negative first.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Okay,
and
so
what ways could this be, you know, a disaster? And really put it all out on the table with your partner. And as you're doing that, I want you to ask yourself, if this did happen, what would the consequences be for me personally? And what would the consequences be for my relationship? Right. So maybe the consequences for me would be I'd feel bad about myself and I would be, you know, feel really sad and rejected. And the consequences for my relationship could be that, you know, if this mother-in-law comes in and does the thing that she always does, it could lead to a lot of fighting between me and my partner, or it could increase the conflict between us.
Right.
I think that when we take a really honest look at what could go wrong and what the consequences would be if that did happen, it really increases our motivation to do something to prevent it from happening in the first place.
So troubleshoot and then try to solve from there a little bit.
Troubleshoot and then really sit with what would the consequences be if this happened. At that point, you and your partner have the task of figuring out what boundaries you need to put in place with your family to make sure that that stuff doesn't happen.
Okay. Because boundaries are pretty much everything when it comes to outside family. Because your family you love, right? I mean,
absolutely,
with all your heart. So it's hard because you do want those boundaries in place, and usually you disagree about the boundaries. Yes, a lot of times.
That's
right. So what do you do at that point?
Well, I think it's really important first and foremost that you give yourself permission to not conform to everything your family expects of you or sort of demands of you. It's hard for a lot of people to make changes, to implement these kind of boundaries that we're talking about, because they think their families are going to be mad.
Right.
And you know, they probably will be mad. Like, families don't like it when the status quo is altered. And you really are going to be stirring the pot in that respect by implementing these new boundaries.
But that's stress. So what's a tip on communication at that point when you know that something affects your partner, no matter what it is, that your family doesn't understand?
Yeah. This is why we need to go into the holidays with a game plan with our partner. We want to have all of this thought through before we get to Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas Eve celebration, so that if the triggers do happen, we already know what we're going to do about it. So maybe you and your partner need to have some code words. Right? Have some code words that might signal, okay, it's time for us to leave, or please change the subject, or please don't leave me alone with person X because it's not going to go well. If you troubleshoot what could potentially happen and come up with a plan to protect yourself from being in that uncomfortable position, not only are you giving yourself the gift of protecting your well-being and your boundaries, but you and your partner really become a team. You're protecting your relationship first and foremost. And if you do that, you're going to be fine. You're going to be solid.
Give me a fun code word.
Oh my gosh. I was just talking about this with a couple the other day, and they said banana pudding was going to be their code word.
Banana pudding.
Banana pudding. You know, if I look at you and say, hey, banana pudding, it means like, it's time to get out of here. Things are going.
That's an obvious
Things are going
code
bad.
word. I'd have to be like, pick the tooth or something. Okay,
yeah, like a
banana
little.
pudding. Right. Okay.
Whatever makes sense to you. It really is about protecting yourselves, protecting the relationship, making sure that you end the holiday season feeling connected, feeling like there's a lot of love and respect between you and your partner. There's nothing worse than ending the holidays feeling like you have to get in to see your couples therapist stat.
Right.
Right. Let's try to avoid the downfall this year and keep our relationships nice and protected.
So really quick, damage goes down because Thanksgiving is coming up. How do you
Yeah.
repair that quickly for Christmas? Just learn from it? Or
I
is there
think
anything-
that empathy and compassion, right, are the #1 tools to
That's a whole other
forgiveness.
segment, by the way, empathy. How
Yes.
to actually be empathetic.
Yeah, how to really use that empathy and compassion. We want to make sure that we feel like we're on the same team and we have each other's backs. If you're really struggling, if your dynamics are very complicated, don't be afraid to make an appointment with a family therapist or a couples therapist, kind of a third set of eyes to help you navigate what's most complicated.
Because you have to be on the same page, and if you can't get on the same page,
If you can't get on the same page, chaos will ensue.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
You're
Happy
welcome.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
And we'll have more information about Megan and these tips on our website at katu.com. Stick right there. More of Afternoon Live when we come back.